A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science. And students, welcome back to the online classes here. As you know, we were doing the fourth chapter, that is social justice, and this was the old name. And according to the new revised syllabus given by the CBSE, I told you the name has been updated as justice. So I had given you the subtopics which we were going to study under this topic, and the last topic was pursuing social justice. This topic I had explained you, and we had finished with the chapter that is justice, which was chapter number 4. So in this video today we are going to start a new fresh chapter, and which is one of the most important chapter, if I say, in terms of this particular book, that is your syllabus book, political theory, chapter number 5, and the chapter's name is rights. So here, as in this book we have been studying certain chapters, like first chapter was only the introduction to this book, that is introduction to political theory, in which we understood the meaning of political theory, significance and importance of this book of political theory, especially for the students of political science of class 11th. And then we also saw various phenomena, political phenomena and important concepts which we have been studying in a form of just short definitions, like equality, freedom, justice, citizenship, democracy, nationalism or nationalist, nationality. So these were some of the important political phenomena and concepts which we know already, but in a form of a short definition. But we do not know the background or the root cause or the how they came into existence. So to understand the complete understanding and all the dimensions of these concepts, we are studying this book, that is political theory. So if you see this particular topic, that is rights, it is one of the important topic, because previous to this chapter number 5 we have read chapter number 2, 3, 4 as equality, freedom and justice. So these were some of the values, important values, which we call them as our rights. Okay, we claim that equality, freedom and justice as our rights. So we are now trying to understand what are rights, then how they came into existence, what are the root values of this concept of rights. So in this chapter we will try and understand this thing. So before I move forward to start this chapter, with the help of a small diagram, I would like to explain in short the importance of rights and other values which we have already covered. Suppose I have to show you the meaning of these important political phenomena or these values which we have already covered in this book of political theory. Suppose this is the ground, this is the level of the ground. Okay, and we have studied in the first chapter, we have studied about I think equality, suppose. Then we have studied of freedom. Then we have, in the last chapter, we have started about justice. And in this book, more values and important political phenomena have been discussed, like citizenship, democracy, nationalism. Okay, so these are the important, I would say, values which we need to understand in detail in all the dimensions to be a good student of a political science. So we should have the complete understanding of these political theories. So from a common point of view, a common person, okay, so from the point of view of a common man, okay, what are the meaning of these terms? A common man will say equality means where everyone is treated equally. Freedom is like given freedom to each and everyone in terms of political freedom, social freedom, that all we know. Okay, justice, nyay. Okay, then citizenship, democracy, nationalist. So all these meaning, for the common person, they just know the meaning that okay, these are our rights, these are our freedom, this is what we understand by justice. But as a student of political theory, okay, but as a political theory student, you must understand these concepts in all the dimensions as possible, because it becomes very important to make a distinction. Sorry, there should be a distinction when I talk about the common person and when I talk about the political theory or a student of political theory. So these are the views of common person, just they know the meaning of these terms. But as a student of political theory, you must know their roots. And when I talk about roots, Okay, so these are the roots, I would say. So when we study political theory, we try to understand that okay, this is a word equality from how this word or how this value of a democratic country has emerged. What are the concepts which are related to it? How these concepts or the values of our political system are interlinked to each other? How they are important to together? How they can be linked up together to form an equalitarian sort of a society, or a society based on just a distribution of resources or goods and services, which we have studied in various chapters. So what are the roots? So as a student of political theory, you have to see this upper part you have been studying in the junior classes, but as a student of class 11th, now you need to understand the root cause and the deep foundation of these concepts or these values. And later on we'll understand that equality, freedom, justice, citizenship, democracy, these extra, how they become rights. So in this chapter, we'll try to understand that the concepts which we have been studying under this book, Political Theory, how these we claim that these values are also our rights. In the common language, you must have seen when we are in the class or we are in the market or you are going to the temple. So you will say that if someone is stopping you from doing something, you have the right to speech and expression. You have the right to move freely. You have the right to propagate any religion you want. But if anyone stops you, you will what you will say, the very common term you will use, I have the right to equality, I have the right to freedom, I have right to religion, I have to right to buy property at any place I want to go, I have the right to make my progress in any profession I want. So all these are the rights. So how rights we will be studying are understood with these important phenomena, so how they are linked up, this is the thing which we will be studying in this chapter. So I hope that with the help of this diagram you must have understood how these values are equal to rights. Why we call these values as our rights? We claim these values as our rights, so it becomes important. We'll also see the roots and foundations of rights, that what are the concepts which are integrated or are linked up with rights, how rights came into existence, how it was established, what are the things we call as rights. So what are the important things and dimensions of rights? We'll try and understand this in this chapter. So as I have already told you, chapter number 5, rights, with the help of the diagram I have explained you what is the purpose and what is the significance of studying these rights, as this is a distinct chapter as compared to justice, equality and freedom, as those are the values which claim to be our rights. So we'll try and understand what do we understand by rights, what are the phenomena and political concepts related to these rights. So starting with the introduction, and this chapter and this sorry in this part I shall be only dealing with the introduction part today, so that I would make it very much clear to you what are the topics and what is the theme basically of this chapter. So we will be working on the theme of this chapter in this particular video. Basic concept I have given you. Now starting with the introduction of this chapter in relation to our country India. When we talk about the rights, we'll try and understand according to India here. So as you know, India is a democratic form of country where we progress with democracy, and we also know the importance of democracy, as from our past political history we have a lot of experience where we came to know and we realized what is the importance of democracy for proper functioning of a country like India, where there is so much of a diversity in terms of caste, color, language, etc and so on. Okay, so as India, you know, is a democratic country, so as a citizen of India in a living in a democratic country, we and every citizen claims for rights. Here it is automatic when we are born, it is automatically when we are brought up as a citizen of India, as a citizen of a democratic country, in our environment, in our neighboring places, at our society, schools, home, we learn that we have certain rights which we can claim as a citizen of India. It comes automatically to us when we are living in such an environment. So as a citizen, we all claim for rights. So what are those important rights which every citizen claims for? Like right to vote. If there are elections at the assembly level or at the Lok Sabha elections or even at the village level, if someone stops you from voting, so you will always fight against it, you will stand against it, because you know that as a citizen of India living in a democratic country like India, you have this right to vote. And it is very much clear that if you are 18 years or above 18 years, you have this right to vote. But still, if someone discriminates you on this right, you have the right to go to the court. So we are here. If anybody violates our rights, our personal rights, our social rights, our economic rights, our all the rights, then we have the right to go to the court. As you have also studied about fundamental rights, in that you read about right against right to constitutional remedies, according to which you can claim your rights in the court if someone violates your other five rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right to education, etc. Okay. Next is right to form political parties. If you want to form any political party, any social group, you can form it. Okay. Right to contest election. Okay, you have the right to vote, but if you want, you can also contest election. Right to information, right to privacy. So these are just few examples of the rights which every citizen can claim. And here are these are the just term, but practically when we face such discrimination or such violence, violation of rights in the society, like you are in the into education sector while taking admissions, or like taking classes in the school atmosphere, daily activities of the school, if you face that some of your rights are being violated by someone, you will always say this word that I have the right to do this thing, I have the right, no one can discriminate me. So this comes automatically to a person when we are living in a country like democratic country. Okay, so we have these basic rights. These are just the few examples I am telling you. Now moving forward, rights may be claimed not only for adults. When we talk about the rights, so if I talk about the rights, it has a large scope. I would say it is not only for the adult human being. We cannot say that it is only for males or only for females. If we say rights may claim not only for adult human beings, but also for children, unborn children, for tourists we call them, and even for animals, or also environment. Okay, so in this we can say that rights have a very big scope. It is a very big concept. It has various dimensions. To understand those dimensions and scope of rights, we will be studying this chapter properly. But here I would like to tell you that rights can not only be claimed by the adult human beings, or only by the males, or only by the females. It is the rights are also there for small children. Like when we talk about their education, we talk about the child labor. Okay, so there are various rights which are given to the children so that they can live a healthy lifestyle. Even the unborn children, as you have must seen uh, that previously girl childs were killed, or abortions were made before the child was born. So various laws and provisions were made to stop this evil practice in the society. And if you talk of the animals, so even the unborn children have some rights. As a human being, no one can stop us from getting those rights. Okay, every human is treated equally, as we think human is a creation of God. So each and everyone should be treated equally. Everyone should get the equal opportunities. No one should be suppressed and discriminated on the basis of caste, color, language, or religion, etc. Even the animals, now you have seen there are so many cases people are not allowed to hunt animals. In the case of Salman Khan, you have seen so many years have been passed, the case is still going on as he killed the animal. But on the local level also, if you see, this is a crime to do hunting of the wild animals. Okay, you have very well known about this thing. So now we have rights for animals also, to protect our environment, to maintain the ecosystem of our environment. We need to protect the animals. For that we have basic important rights to protect these animals. And in the case of environment also, you have seen, you are living in the region of your as the location of your school, you can see this is a school's location is near to the forest. And here also there are many laws to protect the forest, where people are punished if they found that they have cut the trees, or they are destroying the environment. Okay, so forest reserve, as we have seen, we have to protect the forest reserve or forest cover. For that, various environmental protection acts are made. Also, if you talk about the pollution, as pollution is creating a lot of problems in the environment, so as we see in the vehicles also, there are we have to make pollution charts. We have to make a insurance for pollution also. Various factories have various protocols which they have to follow. where they do not create lot of pollution. So there's a limit set to everything to save our environment. So these are the rights, I would say, has a huge scope in terms of providing equality and all the rights to all the human beings, maybe male, female, children, unborn children, even for animals, and for protecting environment also. But in future also, this term rights is not a static term. It is very dynamic in nature, which keeps on changing with the requirement in the situations, with the change in time and situation. These rights will keep changing, these will keep growing, as there were no rights for the animals and environment previously. But as we saw in our societies, that there were problems coming up with the loss of animal reserve on the environment or the forest. So the new laws have come up. In the same way, they have written here, the notion of right is thus invoked in a variety of different ways by different ways by different people. Okay, so if we talk about the rights, they are read and understood, all the dimensions are understood in a different way by different people. Okay, so that is why I'm saying this word is a dynamic word. This concept is a dynamic concept which will keep changing with the need of time or the need of hour. If tomorrow we feel there are important rights which should be recognized by the state or by the nation for an individual to protect their dignity as a human being, so we'll make few changes, few provisions in the constitution through amendments, or bring few rights for the citizens to protect them. As in the case of women's children, we have seen, to protect the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs. We have been continuously working for the development and bringing equality for the humans. Okay, to protect the dignity of the humans, to protect the environment, to protect the animals, children. So with the need of time, we will be keep changing and protecting the rights of the people, animals, and environment. This is a part I'm taking from the NCRT book also, so you can read it so that it will be very much clear to you. This is chapter 5, rights, introduction part of your book. In everyday life, we often talk of our rights. Every day, as I told you, we talk of our rights. As a student, you talk of the rights at the school level. As a teachers, we talk of our rights at the our profession as a teaching. And if you see in the society, different people talk of their rights. Okay, so as members of a democratic country, we may speak of such rights as the rights to vote. As a citizen of, I have explained you, of a democratic country, we talk of our right to vote, right to form political parties, right to contest elections, and so on. These are the rights which every citizen of democratic country will ask for. But if you are living under the dictatorship, where there is a rule of a king or a president or an army control, there you cannot ask or claim for the rights to vote, right to form political parties. You will not have lot of representation in the government functioning. But if you are living in this country, a democratic country like India, you claim for these certain important rights. But apart from the general accepted political and civil rights, people today are also making new demands. If we talk about basic, we are political and civil rights, people are also making new demands. As I told you, this is a dynamic term. This is keep changing now. So with the need of the time, now people are also demanding rights such as right to information, right to clean air related to environment, to have less pollution. Everyone should have the right to get the safe drinking water, for which governments are making various policies plans, where everyone can get education, right to have drink water, right to food, right to housing. Rights are claimed not only in the relation to our political and public life, but also in relation to our social and personal relationships. So we do not talk. So as I told you, this right, this has a large vast scope. This is not only related to political rights or public rights. Now it has come up to social life and personal relationships also. There are various rights given by the government. Moreover, rights may be claimed not only by adult human beings, as this I have explained you. Rights can also be claimed by the for the children, unborn fetus, and even for animals or environment. The notion of right is thus invoked in this I have explained you. So I hope you must have understood this concept. What do we understand by rights? In the next video, we shall be starting with what do we understand by rights. So let me show you what are the things we are going to cover in this chapter. So basically, these are the important topics which we shall be going through in this chapter. Okay, we will study in this chapter what are rights. Here I'm not going to explain what do we mean by rights. In the next video, the first part which we shall be covering will be what are rights, what are the important dimensions of rights. We'll try and understand the complete definition and concept of rights in detail. Where do rights come from? As I've shown you the diagram, at the common, if we say at the common people's view, the rights means adhikar. But as a student of political science, we'll see the roots and foundation of rights, from where these rights have emerged, these ideas have come up, which are the concepts which are closely linked to rights. Then we'll see this Emmanuel Kant as an important scholar. We'll try and understand what are his ideas on the human dignity, as every human is a gift of God, is the creation of God. Everyone should be treated equally. So we'll try to understand what does he mean by human dignity, and how this human dignity is related to this chapter of rights. We'll try and understand that according to him. Then we'll see legal rights and the state rights. Okay, we say that okay, I have this right in the society, I can move freely, I can profess, I can follow this religion, I want to follow this profession. But are these rights recognized by the states? So we'll see the relation between the legal rights and the rights which are recognized by the states, because those rights will be, if those rights are recognized by states, then only we can call them rights, otherwise we cannot call them as our rights. Then we'll see kinds of right. You are very familiar with this, as we have been studying about equality, freedom and justice. And justice also we saw political justice, economic justice, legal justice. Okay, so in this way, here also we'll try and find what do we mean by political rights, legal right, okay, sorry, political rights, social rights, economic rights. And the last would be rights and responsibilities. Here I mean by rights and responsibilities, I mean, although everyone has been given some fundamental rights, everyone has given basic rights, but along with those rights we have basic responsibilities also. Suppose if you are made the captain of the team of Indian cricket team, okay, you have got the right, you have got the importance, you have the value that you are the captain. But along with it, if team does not perform well, you are responsible for it. So along with the position and the rights and the dignity, you are also getting the responsibility. So okay, when we are having the rights, we should also be ready to perform various responsibilities as a citizen. If we are getting some rights, some benefits, we have to perform basic functions also as a citizen of India. So we'll try and understand all these terms, important parts in this chapter. So in the next video I shall be taking this part, that is what are rights, in detail. Till then, thank you, take care.